Hey, Cardinal fans, we're back for Heart of the Cardinal, diving into student athletes, coaches, and everybody's stories here at Ball State University in our athletics department. We have two guests here joining us on our October show. We're going to try and have a show every single month highlighting student athletes and beyond. Our first guest, Haley Sakbun from women's swimming and diving, and then we'll also have Julia Verratti from field hockey on the show this month. Haley, really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us in studio.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
We're live in the Betsy M. Ross SportsLink studios. And Haley, it's been a fun start to your guys' season in the pool this year.
Oh, yeah, we just beat Purdue, so that's exciting.
And there were, what, 10 teams in that first meet?
We won the entire meet. Yeah, that was really cool.
How much does that just build the confidence of this group?
Well, now I'm really excited to see what happens for the rest of the season. We have a really strong group of freshmen, and they are probably the backbone of our team right now, and they're working really hard, and they're excited to be here. And since they're all new, they're just pumped up every day. So
you talk about the freshmen being the backbone of the team.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when it comes to strength and everything being new, they're just amped up, and they come from very good schools, and they're all really fast. So I could see them carrying us if we're struggling. They're really good. And I'm very proud of them so far.
And when you have a strong group of freshmen like that, how does that build the confidence of the rest of the group?
I think everyone was when they first came, we were like, oh my gosh, especially the ladies were like, oh, these girls are built. It's actually insane. And they just put their all in the pool, and they have this young energy that we really appreciate. And so it's very good to have them here.
What have you learned from that freshman group?
What have I learned? Well, they kind of brings a sense of newness. I remember how I was when I was a freshman. I didn't know anything yet.
Yeah.
The hard practices, it hasn't got to me yet, and they're still kind of naive in a way. They're like, oh, I'm so excited. Let's go to practice. We're gonna work hard. And now that I'm where I am, I'm I know what to expect, and I'm whew, it's time for a threshold practice. I know what to expect. So it's kind of nice to have that young and hungry energy on deck.
What's a threshold practice like?
So basically, threshold is going as fast as possible on a fast interval, and basically you just build up lactic acid, and you kind of the goal is to push through and keep holding a certain pace.
Okay, how often do you have to do this?
This is usually once a week, but
Okay.
it can feel like every day.
Okay, no, I'm sure it does feel like it's every day. How have you seen yourself personally grow from the start of this school year to now? I know that's a couple-week window, but how have you seen yourself develop?
Lots of strength training. I actually was a mid-distance swimmer when I came here, so I focused more on swimming and endurance in the water. But this year I'm more focused on strength, and I started off my squat. Couldn't even do over 120 when I first got here after not, training as hard, but now I'm back on 2 plates, 225. So
No, that's awesome.
big difference in strength.
How would you say that that's grown from your freshman year to now?
Oh, freshman year, since I was in distance and focused on that, I think my bench was more than my squat, and there's a big difference now. I think I came here not being able to do a pull-up, and now I can do weighted pull-ups.
And how have you seen all of that pay off in the pool? Because I think a lot of people don't associate those two things together, but from your perspective, how are you seeing that help?
Well, I had kind of a drastic difference because I came here to do distance and mid-distance, and now I'm a sprinter. So my sprinting has improved so much. I kind of moved away from the distance. But where I used to swim, I was mainly put in distance, so I never knew what I could do with sprinting. But now that I'm doing that here, there's been a lot of improvement and a lot of difference in my stroke technique. It really wasn't the best, so I can finally say my stroke is correct now after 4 years of swimming here.
What's been your favorite part of that change?
My favorite part of the change, definitely the easier practices. No offense to my sprinter friends, but we have less mornings, and our practices are more focused on short sprinting and shorter sets. So that's been very nice.
How do you push yourself now that you're in this new wave of activity, this new wave of practicing?
Honestly, my teammates are what push me. I definitely say the swim team is more like a family compared to a lot of other schools. There's not a lot of tension. We race each other and we bring each other up, and that's kind of how I've get through these past 4 years. And I also have an amazing coach, so a lot of respect for Coach Jay.
Just about to ask.
Yeah.
Jay has been the coach for a while here at Ball State. He's been able to develop and see the talents in the pool here at Ball State for a long time. How has he personally helped you?
Honestly, I don't even think I could have made 4 years of college swimming without Jay. He really is an amazing coach. He has 2 daughters and a wife, no sons. Like, you could tell he is a girl dad, and he knows how to talk to us. Like,
Love
when
it.
we're having a rough day, he knows how to get us through. He always has the right words to say, and overall, just an amazing coach.
He needs an NIL deal with coffee.
Yes.
I think he does.
Oh my gosh. Morning practice, you're tired, and you just have the most nauseating smell of coffee slapping you in the face every time you take a breath. I don't know how his heart works.
Sorry, Jay.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to throw you under the bus there on that one, but
He knows that. He knows that. He cannot function without his 8 cups of coffee a day.
I love it. Usually when we interview him, he's got a cup, and we teased him this year before the first meet, he didn't have a cup, and I'm like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, you have a cup of coffee."
He loves his coffee.
He does. Haley, from the early on part of the season, you haven't had too many competitions, obviously, yet.
Yeah.
But after the first one, we talked about it a little bit, winning that one, 10 teams in the meet. How are you thinking that that's going to build the confidence of this group throughout the course of the year?
Starting off strong, I think everyone is going to be excited and confident in themselves, especially beating such a big team. And I think this will carry on throughout the season. I mean, obviously, we're going to hit some potholes. There's going to be some meets where we're going to be at the peak of our season, peak of our training, and we're going to be tired, but that's expected. But we know through our training and our hard work, we'll be able to bring it back up, especially with taper, which is our rest, and we'll just know we're ready for midseason and conference.
And that's from experience.
That
because
is from
you've been able
4
to
years
go through it.
experience. Oh, I've had meets back in my hometown where I tell all my friends to come, and we're in the peak of training, peak of season. I'm exhausted, and I go in there and I throw down a 50 slower than I do from a push off the wall. And I was like, guys, I don't swim this slow, I swear.
We've been training to be above this.
Yeah, but most of my friends who came are swimmers, so they get it. So I wasn't too embarrassed.
No, absolutely. It happens.
Yeah.
It's part of college competition.
Oh, yeah.
How have you seen yourself be resilient in those moments, though, when you do know that, hey, something might not have gone my way, but I know how to push past this?
Well, I think the upperclassmen, when I was younger, they tell us. They're like, guys, this is what to expect. Do not feel discouraged. And I think just having a positive mentality and, just listening to what they're saying and all of my experiences.
Your experiences. That's a perfect way to tie in the next part of the conversation. Your journey as a whole as a Ball State swimmer, how would you describe what that journey's been like?
A lot of unexpected moments. Definitely the practices, they do stay the same throughout the year, but sometimes Coach Jay kind of changes our routine, which you have to adjust to.
Absolutely.
That can throw you off a little bit. For the most part, it's been the same. Having swimmers graduate and having new swimmers, it takes a while to learn everyone's names, and it creates a whole new atmosphere, but for the most part, everyone slowly latches onto the idea of that we're a family. So even though there is change, we always come back around. It's like a full circle.
No, that's well said.
Yeah.
How have you seen yourself get through some of the challenging parts of college?
That's when it comes to my roommates and my close circle. So that would be my roommates Peyton Kelly, Callie Tuma, Alyssa Menisinger, and Hannah. If I'm having a really hard time, they're my people I can go to and talk to and shed a few tears. But I have my support group.
No, that's awesome. And that's important, especially when you're first coming into college. Now that you're experienced, you're probably able to pass some of that wisdom on to other people.
And then back to Coach Jay being a girl dad. I think he's seen the whole women's team bawl their eyes out a few times, but he knows how to handle it. He's also my support system too, but I try not to bother him too much because his schedule's insane.
Yeah, I'm sure because there's between the men's and the women's team, there's
60 of us.
60, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
How fun is that?
It's exciting. You get built-in best friends when you come to college. You have nothing to worry. What am I going to do? Who am I going to hang out with? Well, I have 60 people to choose from, so.
And it's one of the biggest athletic programs on campus.
Next to football,
yeah. Next to football, it's men's, women's swimming into one team.
Yeah.
When you're talking about building those friendships naturally, it seems like a pretty easy way, whether it's practices, competitions, but it seems like a lot of times it's spent outside of the pool where those memories are made for you.
Oh, yeah. You would think after all the hours of training together and competition, we would just go home and do our own thing. But I'm not kidding. The swim team is together 24/7. We we don't separate. It's impossible. Like, I don't get bored of them. We're drawn to each other. And another reason like that we're like family. I can't describe it. Like, even the divers, we hang out with the divers. I know a lot of teams feel separated from their dive team, but we all hang out together.
I think that's the important part, is to not make anybody feel separated.
Yeah, our coach is always like, make sure to do team building activities. And we're like, we're bonding every day.
We're just hanging out.
Like, we're just hanging out. You have nothing to worry about.
No, that's awesome. Haley, this is probably the easiest question. How did you get into swimming?
This is actually a really silly thing. Okay, so both of my brothers, before we had my club team had our main pool get built and everything, and we swam at the high schools. My brothers swam at our local YMCA.
Okay.
And my mom would take me to their practices to watch them. This was around when I was like 2 or 3. Their head coach used to like carry me on deck. Like, he was obsessed with me.
Wow, okay.
So he used to like carry me on deck and like coach my brothers. And I think when I hit 3 years old, like, I started becoming aware, and I noticed like all the swimmers had caps on their heads. So in my 3-year-old brain, I thought to myself, oh, if I put on a swim cap, I'm going to know how to swim. So we have a pool in my backyard back home, and I would sneak into our basement in the laundry room. That's where we kept all of our swim gear. And I would sneak a swim cap on, and I'd run outside and throw myself in the pool. And I didn't know how to swim. And this was like a really common occurrence. My parents had to run outside and come grab me from the pool.
Yeah, they had to try and save you from jumping in unsupervised.
Yes. And so my mom was like, all right, like, let's put her in lessons. My sister was already in lessons, so like, let's just put her in. And that's basically how I started getting into swimming.
Wow. Okay, so from a very young age, like quite literally a very young age. Do you still have that same cap?
Those things get gross really quick. So
throw that out there.
Definitely
No.
not.
It's not anywhere, no.
I think I go through like 5 or 6 caps a season.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Moldy, tear. But yeah, I'd started doing lessons when I was 3, and I started competing when I was 4.
So you fell in love with it early, and you continued to progress through it. For you, was it always swimming from when you got in the pool the very first time and you were trying that at 3 and 4 years old? Did you try out anything else, or was it just always?
So I've been swimming for 19 years straight, but I've also done a handful of other sports when I was really little. So I did ballet, jazz, gymnastics, tumbling, cheerleading, tennis, track, cross country. That's
wild.
And piano, the trombone, violin.
Okay.
I was a very busy kid.
Could you still play any of those instruments now?
Oh yeah, I'm still
Really?
obsessed with the piano. I love the piano. I did lessons, but I hated it. I'm more of like a self-taught person.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of things.
If you had to play a song on the piano right now, what would it be?
I think I'd probably, one of my favorites that's really beautiful, it's called Lonely Lullaby by Owl City.
Okay. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful piece. It's a sad song. You know the songs like Fireflies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a big song back in the day.
Yeah, it's just like a little pop. But the piano piece is so pretty. And I like sat down and I taught myself how to play that.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So could you still play the trombone?
Yeah, I just need to like play around with it. I still have it.
That's awesome.
And I have my guitar here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in amidst all those other sports that you just mentioned, in addition to the instruments, if you weren't a swimmer, what would you have chosen? I mean, it feels destiny that you would be a swimmer, putting a cap on at 3 years old. But
yeah. I would have been a basketball player.
Okay.
I did basketball in middle school, and I got our rebound and free throw record. So,
that's awesome.
but like my arms are also like freakishly long. I remember I was playing and I was guarding this one girl at this middle school, and someone in the crowd was like, "Oh my gosh, your arms are freaking long," and I was like, oh, "Thanks."
Don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
Haley, why did you choose Ball State?
Why did I choose Ball State? Okay, no offense to Ball State, but I literally had no idea about this school. I didn't even know what Muncie was. And the only reason why I knew about Ball State is because my sister committed to come here. And so I was like, oh, Ball State. And then everyone, when they asked me, they're like, oh, like your sister goes to Ball State. Where is that? And I was like, I don't know. And I started going to her swim meets, and she would bring some of her friends home to meet us, like her international friend Marcella. She's from Brazil. And then I slowly became friends with them, and I'd come to campus a lot. And I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And then when it came down to like the process of being recruited and stuff, I was really drawn, once again, like Coach A, like
Yeah.
he he never put on like a facade. He was always himself. He was consistent with his phone calls. And the difference between him and the other coaches is like he actually cared about me as a person. He asked me like personal questions and had casual conversations. It wasn't just about swimming, times, what are you doing in the weight room? Like it was like, tell me about you. Like, how are you? And I felt like I was wanted on the team. So that's why I chose to come here.
That's awesome. That's a great story. And
yeah.
That doesn't surprise me about Jay.
Yeah, no.
Being that way.
I could talk about him all day. Like he is a great person.
He is.
I'm not trying to toot his horn, but like.
we all agree with you.
Yeah.
You mentioned your sister. How influential has she been in your journey?
She's been influential my entire life. A lot of people just, like say I want to be just like her. They're like, you followed her here. You're a swimmer. You swam for Cambodia. Like, she's my best friend, and she is like my guide through life. Like, you know, I have my parents. Obviously, they brought me here, but my sister is my go-to for anything and any problem I have. She's the biggest influence in my life.
You mentioned Cambodia. How cool is that opportunity?
Well, one, it's my dad's home country, which is awesome. Getting to see where he grew up. I've only been there twice before I got to swim, and that was just a wild experience. And the craziest part about swimming is how connected it is. When I was on deck, I ran into two girls on the Laos team, and they were like, "Oh, you swim for Ball State?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We know two of your teammates."
Oh, wow.
We're in Asia. Like, what do you mean you know two of my teammates? They're like, oh, like we used to race against them. Or one was like, I was on their club team. And I was like, oh, that's wild. And then that can take me into going to the World University Games. I was just getting ready to warm up on deck, and I just hear my name. And I turn around, and it's my friend Robin from Sweden that I met 7 years ago at a swim camp.
No kidding.
Yes, and you constantly at the bigger meets you run into a lot of Olympic swimmers and stuff like that, and it's such a connected sport no matter where you are in the world.
So more than just the act of swimming, just the fact that is what it was for you to connect with so many people, that's an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, me and my sister are going in there, and we were like, oh, like we're gonna have our teammates, which I hope they can speak English, but every single one of them could. And then we were like, okay, but like still kind of lonely, like before we really got to know them. And then we had these Laos girls, and we were like, okay, like we'll talk to them behind in the get ready room. And then slowly, like we started to bond more and more with the team, and like I miss a lot of them. Like they also started to feel like family. We stayed in the same house. We trained, slept, worked out together, like everything together, and we really got to know each other. And now I have friends all over the world.
How did that experience challenge you?
How did it challenge me? Definitely like the culture differences, being so far away from home, and like not even having my parents there because my parents couldn't stay on the village. So, and we had to share this room with the person's daughter who got us involved in this. The reason why we got this opportunity was because my sister was swimming at the intercollegiates meet at Purdue, and this lovely lady saw my sister's last name on the board. And she went around searching all like the parents in the stands at Ball State, and she was like, she saw my dad, and obviously he's the only Asian person there, and she was like, are you from Cambodia? And he was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm from Cambodia too. My daughter's swimming in this meet. And she was like, I have this crazy opportunity for you guys, but would you be interested in joining Team Cambodia?
Wow.
And competing in the SEA Games? And he was like, oh my gosh, like yes. So she got us connected to the Swimming Federation, and that's how it all began, just because some lady saw my sister's last name on the scoreboard.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Then I'm assuming he just told you, say, hey, this is what I just found out.
Yeah, and then my sister was like, let's do it. And we got our dual citizenship and everything, a lot of papers and stuff just so we can swim. And that's also how I got my dual citizenship in Cambodia.
Wow, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. That's so cool.
Yeah.
How grateful are you for that experience?
Extremely. I mean, what are the odds? You don't meet a lot of people who get to do this, and honestly, like I feel too blessed. Like why me? Why do I get to do something like this with my life? Like this is absolutely insane. So I'm very thankful and blessed to have something like this happen to me and my family.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that story, and I'm glad that you all have been able to experience that, because that's, again, once in a lifetime opportunity for you to partake in.
Yeah.
Haley, before we let you go here, what excites you most about this group for the rest of the season? I know we're just underway, but what excites you most about your team for the rest of the year?
What excites me the most? I guess training with these new people, like getting to know them and getting to like leave my legacy here, you know, because I mean, we have all like the previous seniors that we talk about, all the stories, and everyone's like, wow, like I really wish I get to know them. And I hope I leave like a good legacy here and a good foundation for all the freshmen. It's been a really good time swimming with them. I have 2 freshman girls in my lane, 2 sophomore girls, and sometimes 1 junior girl in my lane, and we all just kind of bond. So
When you say in your lane, is that like your practicing groups?
yeah, my practice, like we for the most part like stay in one lane for each practice, and we don't really switch it up.
Okay.
So I like, you kind of bond with this small group, or like you can talk to people in the other lanes, but like this is your training group and the people you have to uplift and keep going. So.
No, that's awesome. Well, Haley, congratulations on all of your successes. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the year at Ball State. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Thank you to Haley for joining us here on Heart of the Cardinal. We'll have a monthly episode with our Ball State student athletes and coaches to unpack people's journeys and have a really good time. And next up from Ball State Field Hockey, Julia Verratti. Julia, really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How's everything going for you?
It's good. It's been tough, but it's been a lot of fun this season.
For you personally, how have you seen yourself grow throughout the year?
Yeah, I think like from freshman year to last year, it was a huge growth, and I saw a lot more playing time. But then now this year, I'm kind of seeing myself come into more of a leadership role. And we lost a lot last year, a lot of seniors, a lot of great leaders, and we have our great captains now. But I think it's just me stepping into an even bigger role, and not even just scoring goals, but just leading as well.
What's that like for you to be a leader and to step into a role like that, especially after watching some people before you do that?
Yeah, it's been so cool. I mean, there's so many girls under us that are so like willing to work hard, and they want it so bad. So it's so cool that I can lead by example and then just continue it.
Has it challenged you in any ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've learned a lot about patience as well. I mean, coming into college, it's different. It's a lot harder, and I think that I've really been tested a lot, but it's been fun.
What do you mean by tested?
Like, every day is hard. I mean, especially in the off season, like with the conditioning and a lot of working out, and it's like keeping myself motivated, but also knowing that if I can keep myself motivated, I can help everyone else too.
What motivates you?
I think myself, and I think wanting to be the best and like not letting anyone beat me has really helped me, and that's what motivates me. And then it's like every game, it's like, don't let your girl beat you, and that's kind of the mindset that we've all adapted.
You had a pretty fun game on your birthday, it sounds like. I just found
Yes.
out that game was your birthday, a
Yeah.
3-goal game early in the season. What was that game like for you?
It was so much fun. I mean, it was opening weekend. We had a tough start on Friday, but it was like Sunday we knew that this was a game that we could really compete in, and it was so fun. My parents were here, and we had so many fans, and it was just like the first goal came, and it was like cool, and Jade also like was involved in that goal, and she's just a freshman, and she's so awesome. But it was just like we were both able to share that, and then the second goal came, and I was like, wow, this is fun. And then like the third goal, we were like, okay, this is a good day.
That's a day right there. Career day for you, Julia. When you look at that first goal, we were doing the telecast of it, and we're like, who hit the ball? Who's the goal on? And then they radioed down to the side, and they were like, we think it was Julia, but we're not quite sure. So when we went through and we watched it again, it was so cool to see that play develop. When you have a day like that, how does that just build your overall confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you not hard, but when you're like starting out as a freshman and in the second year and the third year, it's like every time that you do something like great and then everyone else around you is like, wow, that was awesome. You just like feel so good about yourself, and it's so relieving, and it's like, okay, I know that I'm supposed to be here, and I think that's really what I felt that day.
Does that help further advance like the confidence of I'm a leader for a reason when all of those things kind of come into play?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I know that I work so hard on the off season. I know I work hard every day in practice. And it's like, now I really get to showcase my skills. And when I do, it's like, I hope that everyone else around me is like, oh, I want to do that too.
You guys had an overtime thriller recently.
On Friday, yeah.
Yeah, double overtime thriller.
Yeah, that was another great game. I mean, like, the first goal, it was not a great shot, like, I'm not going to lie. But when she came out and said it was a goal, it was like, oh, my gosh, okay, now we're in it. We need to keep going. And then they came back, but we were prepared for overtime. We played a lot of overtime games this year, and we were just ready to go. And then we played the first one, and it was still, and we were, like, so dead tired. And then Jess brings the ball down the sideline, and it was just, like, right place, right time. And it was so, so awesome.
How much fun has it been for you to be a go-to player in those circumstances?
Yeah, it's stressful because it's like when you miss the tip, it's like, oh gosh, I just missed that, and then everyone's like, come on, come on. But like when you get it, it's like everyone is just so proud of you, and you just feel so much pride in yourself too.
How would you say that you've grown the most from your freshman year to today?
I think definitely as a leader, and I've learned like so much from my older teammates and just how to handle pressure and stress, but also just how to work hard. And I think that was the main thing that got me here, was just a great work ethic, hard work. And when you come here and then you're just able to show that, and your coaches really appreciate it.
What would you say has been your favorite part of your journey at Ball State?
Definitely the friends I've made. I mean, it's just so much fun. Like, we have such a great group every single year, and I think we work really hard to like form a team culture, and even when things don't go our way, games don't go our way, it's like we still like have each other, and that's really what helps us get through the hard times.
And especially, you mentioned a lot of overtime matchups.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of field hockey to go through with your teammates.
Yeah.
And when you're bonding and going through those moments, I'm sure all of that helps a lot.
Yeah, especially the wins. Like, when we win, it's like, it's just so relieving, and it's so much fun. And then like your body gets tired, and then the next day we're like, come on, we just got to do it again.
Yeah, the adrenaline's worn off the next day. You're like, okay, we got to go back to it. You mentioned it during the double overtime game. You're like, okay, everybody's exhausted after the first overtime. How do you personally make sure that mentally you are still pushing past all of that tired?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just knowing like you have 10 more minutes to play. Like, you can do anything for 10 minutes. And that's what I think every time I go on the field. I'm like, I know I'm going to be on the field for 7 or 8 minutes, and you can you can do anything for 8 minutes. And then when we went to the second overtime, I was like, we're not going to a shootout. Like, we are finishing this now. And we finished it in 7 minutes. And it was like, yeah, you just work really hard for those 7 minutes. And then it was funny on the last goal. She was bringing it down the sideline, and I just heard people on the sideline being like, Julia, this is your last run. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make this my last run. And I did, and it was so awesome.
That is incredible. And you did it for the seniors.
Yeah, on senior day, and they have put so much into this program, so it was just so nice to be able to get them a win that day.
Julia, how would you describe your field hockey career and your journey?
It's just been fun. I mean, I think in high school it was like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I also played lacrosse, so it was like I was just playing, and then I started being someone that my high school teammates could depend on to do well. And I think then I started getting recruited, and I was like, oh, maybe I can do this like for real. And it's a big thing at home for me. I'm from New Jersey, so field hockey is like a big thing. A lot of people play, and then I came out here for my visit, and I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. And then I just got here, and it's been a lot of work and very hard, but so rewarding.
You mentioned being from New Jersey and coming to Muncie, field hockey being so big on the East Coast. Yeah. How did that prepare you to come to Muncie and to do what you have been able to do?
Yeah, I think we play like club, obviously, and my club was very good. Like, we had really great coaches, and then we also had a lot of clubs around us that were also very good, so it prepared us well, and we were able to see some of the best. Like, even the best players now are like somewhere on my team, and then others we played against in high school or club. So just the level of play at home really prepared me to come here.
How did you get into field hockey? How did this start?
So it's like a family thing, I guess. My mom's friend had 5 kids that were all really good at field hockey, and they all used to babysit us, so we would just play with them outside. And then when I was like old enough to like play in middle school, I was like, oh, well, I'll just try it out. And I knew a lot of people that also played, so I was like, oh, I'll just do it, and it was fun.
Which came first, lacrosse or field hockey?
Lacrosse, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I played both all through high school, but then I knew that field hockey was the way I wanted to go.
Do they have any similarities in the sport? Because when I'm watching it, I'm like, it might. It
Yeah.
looks like it could,
A
but
lot of people think that it's like similar because a lot of people that play field hockey also play lacrosse, but it's like very different
Right.
like, in the game. Because if I were to compare a sport to field hockey, it would be like soccer.
okay.
But like lacrosse is like basketball. It's like set 7-on-7, like moving, cutting. It's like the same. So I don't think that they're similar at all. But
It's ironic that field hockey and soccer at Ball State are right next to each other in terms of
yeah,
the
it's
field
cool.
competition.
Yeah,
The music, you can hear both the musics from one to the other.
I know, especially when we have games at the same time.
It's true. It's happened once or twice. What lessons did you learn from playing in club that you feel like for field hockey that helped you prepare for college?
I think like the actual skills and like how you play the game, I learned a lot more from club than from high school. But also just my coaches were like Olympians, so it's like they know what it takes, and it's like you just have to, it's like a grind. Like you need to work every single day, and especially in the games, it's like you need to make that last sprint. And that's like the thing that I took most from it is like this is like you have 4 years to play college field hockey, and it's like what are you going to do with it?
And being coached by Olympians, when they say something, it's like, okay, that's a statement.
Yeah. So yeah, I think my biggest lesson or my biggest message or takeaway from like growing up is like you have 4 years to be great. So like, what are you gonna do with it?
It's a great line right there. 4 years to be great. What are you going to do with it? How'd you find out about Ball State?
I was doing like some recruiting clinics and stuff, and the old GA here was like a coach of the team that I was on at this one event, and I guess he relayed back to the coaches here, and then I came out for a visit, and I'd never heard of Ball State, honestly. I've never been anywhere west of like Ohio, so it was pretty cool. I came out here and I loved it, and the girls were so awesome, and then it was so cool that the girls I met on my visit I was able to come play with in 2 years.
Oh, that's cool. How many people were on your visit?
Like recruits?
Yeah.
Just 2, and it's also another girl that's on the team now, so
Oh,
I got
that's
to
awesome.
meet her, and then now we're still here together.
Okay, so you had a few people that had to help get you in, and then you were with somebody as well in recruiting.
Yeah.
That's got to feel pretty good. You're coming in with somebody that you know somewhat, at least
Yeah.
from a recruiting visit.
Yeah, and now she's still, like we're still in the same class, and we still hang out, and it's fun.
How would you describe what your journey's been like?
I think like pretty traditional, but also just like hard. And I think people don't realize like how much work we put in, especially in the off season. Like we run so much, we train so much in the spring, and it's like people don't always realize that. And so I think I've also just learned a lot about being like a good teammate and also like a friend and learning how to balance things. And I think those skills I'm going to take with me forever.
And you still have another year.
Yeah.
How excited are you that you still do have some matches left this year, but you still have another year of eligibility?
Yeah, I actually have 2 years of eligibility.
2 years, okay.
Yeah, because I had a red shirt from freshman year, so it's so cool. I mean, I think now like I've started to grow into a leader, but now I'm excited for myself to become even more of a person that people can depend on to always do the right thing and always work hard, but also always have fun.
You talk about your journey and some of the challenges of just how hard this is. Has there been any specific moment where you've had to go through something and you said, okay, this is a challenging moment, and I know that through my experience I can get through this?
Yeah, I think like I'm also studying biology, so I think my classes have been so like, especially last spring, it was like it's so cold, we run so much, I have so many hard classes, and it's like, oh my gosh. But I think having my teammates along with me, like helping me, motivating me, and then just knowing like it's not going to last forever, so just enjoy it while it lasts.
With your biology degree, what do you want to do with it?
I actually want to be a dentist.
Okay.
So when I was playing, this was I think junior year of high school, I was at like a club like tournament, but it was late. It was like a Saturday night. It was like right before Christmas, and I got hit in the mouth, and like my tooth just cracked in half, and my mom was like freaking out. But she like called my dentist, and she was like, I don't know what to do. Like the whole nerve was out. It was cracked in half. And
Oh,
he was
wow.
Like,
Okay.
He was like 2 hours away from home. He has like a mountain house, and he was like, I need to come home right now. And he literally drove all the way home, saw me in the office at like
Really?
10:30 Saturday night, and he was like, yeah, I couldn't let this go. And so now this summer I got to work with him all summer, and
Wow.
he's just so awesome, and I'm like just so excited to like be a dentist.
That's a full circle moment.
Yeah, especially like because it was from hockey, and then now this is my life now, and it's like, wow, that was cool.
Did you know it in that moment? Like you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like this is really cool what he's
Well,
doing.
I think it's just like more of like helping people and like knowing that like you do so good for other people, and they're like so thankful for you, and so yeah.
That's a pretty wild story. That's really cool. Have you had any other teeth
No,
incidents since
no.
then?
No. But now, now that I worked with him this summer, I see it and I'm like, oh, this is definitely what I want to do.
That's really cool. Are you going to do any more work with him next summer?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Julie, before we let you go here, what lessons have you learned from Ball State that you feel like are going to be lifelong lessons?
Yeah, I think definitely balancing all the different aspects of life. It's not going to be school and field hockey anymore, but it's going to be work and family and everything else. But I think just learning, I've also learned from being here, how important it is to still have fun and do things that really make you happy. And obviously just how far hard work gets you, and especially from our team, I think we all can say hard work always beats talent if talent's not working hard. And I think that's something that I'll take forever is you might not be the most talented, but if you work, your work ethic will take you far.
I think everybody forgets about the fun part sometimes. When you're trying to win and you know how much work it takes, the fun aspect might get lost sometimes.
Yeah, and that's something that we've been trying to focus on a lot. This year is just have fun. And we've all been saying, when you have fun, that's when you play the best. And I think that's really true, especially in that St. Louis game. And then on Friday, it's we played so well because we were just having fun. And it was there's pressure on you, but it's good pressure. And there's nerves, but they're good nerves. And it's just fun.
In those 2 games, by the way, she scored 5 goals within those 2 games that she just mentioned, senior day and then against St. Louis. Julie, congratulations on everything so far this year and in your past. We can't wait to see what you do with the last 2 years that you have eligibility.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Ball State wins.